for all the latest in the world of rap music. Hip-hop news with your host One Choice. We might be biased, but at least we admit it.
The AstroWorld Festival has absolutely rocked media, whether it be social, mainstream, or even independent. Now, the reports are that 50,000 people were at that festival, and when Travis Scott hit the stage, there was such a rush to get in close to the stage that people actually died. The reports are that people were screaming for help, that there were people passing out in the crowds, that there were people getting caught underneath and trampled and killed. The reports so far are that 8 people have died, 23 people have been severely injured and hospitalized, and over 300 people were actually treated medically. Now, there are other sources who claim that the numbers are way higher. Now, let's talk about this in a couple of different aspects. First aspect, there were reports of needle prick injections happening in the crowd. Now, there were multiple reports spaced over a huge area of the concert, which means it wasn't just one person. This looks like some sort of coordinated attack. But what's the benefit of that? They weren't just hitting concert goers. There were security guards who got reported of being jabbed in the back of the neck by needles. Now, we don't know exactly what drug was being used, and it hasn't come out publicly as to what was being injected. But if there were people charging the stage, if there were people getting crushed underneath, and there were people being injected with drugs, personally it seems to me like some sort of coordinated attack. I'm not necessarily talking about domestic terrorism. There could be a whole bunch of different things. That could be one option. There could also be the fact that they might be trying to get headlines. Sadly, let's face it, some of these big record labels, they don't really care about people's lives. They don't care about people's well-being. They care about getting huge amounts of publicity and phantom injections and people dying at the concert. That's going to get amazing amounts of publicity, and let's face it, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Now, Travis Scott's being currently investigated criminally. Let's talk about this. The second point. Travis Scott has a history of telling people, rush the stage, go past security. You can go jump on Instagram at any time and see multiple videos of him cursing out security guards for stopping people from getting past the barricades. Now, people are, especially in mainstream media, are blaming Travis Scott entirely for this. That may be true. That may not be true. Let's not get too hasty to jump in and instantly say that Travis Scott is behind everything. Travis Scott could just be a dumbass. Let's face it, he's not exactly your big thinker type of person. So is he responsible? Who knows? Now, Travis Scott did actually get cited, stopping the concert and pointing out people that were floating unconscious in the group of people. But don't you think at that point you completely stop what's happening with the concert, because the venue safety comes first? Absolutely, people pay good money to see you perform. Absolutely, you're a performer. But if there's people dying, if there's people passing out and dying in your concert, just press pause on the whole thing. Stop the whole thing, get the crowd in order, and then if it is safe to proceed, proceed. Now, let's take a look at the third point I'd like to discuss, and this is where I think the big issue was, and that's on the side of the venue itself. There have been multiple reports from the front and the side of the crowd that multiple security guards were sighted watching people in distress, watching people pass out, watching people die, people calling out for help, and not doing a thing to help people. Now, there were people all around the crowd who visibly identified that that was happening. Why was this happening? If they're there as security and venue safety, why are they there but not doing anything? Now, this goes also to the security checks. If there was enough people getting injected, how did someone not get seen bringing multiple hypodermic needles into a concert? There's got to be bag checks, because it's not like a Travis Scott concert. There's going to be people packing. There's going to be people bringing drugs. There's going to be people bringing any form of illicit substances. How did that not get found? So if blame is going to be cast, personally, from my perspective, I think the first blame should be thrown onto the venue. That was obviously not well orchestrated, and If that was not what they wanted the security team to do, they need to be firing the entire security team and starting from scratch, because those guys did not do their job. Unless, of course, that was their job, in which case we got a way bigger problem to deal with. But at the moment, this story is only a couple of hours fresh. We don't really have enough information to really delve into this. There is a criminal investigation going on, and there is already a lawsuit for $1 million against Travis Scott, against the venue, and against Drake, who spent a little bit of time on stage with Travis Scott. So we will have to let you know as events transpire. If you've got thoughts and comments on this, please leave it below. In which case, make sure you leave us a like, make sure you hit subscribe. I'm One Choice, and I'm going to see you guys next week with another hip-hop news segment.
Yo, that's rap, I'ma tell you why. Time for mumble rap, time to say goodbye. These hip-hop heads taking 4 rides, spitting gibberish. Can't deny, can't comply, lyrics are a lie. Give me a answer in an episode of Family Guy. Heads in the sky, probably won't reply. Just sit here and listen to my lyrical drive-by.